Here I go. It's gonna look like Blair Witch Project.
Whoa, I can feel it shaking.
This is not the easiest thing to get into with an old man.
Yeah.
Whew, I'm making it through the tunnels. Oh, I don't fit in this thing.
Hard to move around in these things.
I made it. Whew. Hello. Hey, that worked pretty well.
It was the t-shirt.
That might be the opener right there. All right, hey, welcome to Trending, everybody. Today is Thursday, November 4th, and we are in yet another location, and we have yet another new friend with us today.
Yes.
This is Jenna Tarbutton. Jen is the middle school director at Ridge Point. Jen is a lot of fun, and we just wanted to bring her on today. So, Jen, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
I think you've been on Trending once. Like, weren't you part of like the raid of Nerf guns?
Nerf guns!
You guys are terrible shots, by the way.
That, and then you mentioned me when you got Starbucks for me.
That's right. So
Joe's good at
this is not a first-time caller. So
Technically your third time, but your first time on camera.
On camera,
This is your big on-camera debut.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll spend some time getting to know you here in just a second. But first, we are in a new location.
Yes.
We are in the Chick-fil-A Play Place.
Yes.
They probably have a really cool name for that. I don't really know what the official name is. We are all above 3 years old. But Joe and I are parents.
Yes.
It says parents welcome, so technically Jen is the only rule breaker
Hey,
here.
I'm a parent to a dog.
There you go. I like it.
So we're all good.
We're all good. And I'm not supposed to say any names, but we have a very generous friend who happens to work at this establishment who granted us secret access to this little room. So thank you to our unnamed friend.
You know who you are.
You know who you are.
Yeah, all the high schoolers have access.
But real quick, we have to let you know that technically the Play Place is still closed. So I think they shut it down for COVID, and they haven't officially opened it to the public yet. So just a heads up, we're getting special treatment here. Technically it's not reopened to the public yet. Just a public service announcement before we get too deep in this thing.
Yes.
But we're excited to play in this thing here in just a little bit.
So great, Dad.
So
Yes.
okay, so for trending, we talk about a handful of the top trending topics on Google. Sometimes you pull some from Twitter, talk about them from like a biblical perspective. But since Jen is here, we'll get to that in just a second. But real quick, Jen, some people may not really get to know you yet, so tell us about yourself. How long have you been here? What do you do at Ridge Point?
I have been here for over a year. What do I do here? I'm a middle school director. I hang out with all the middle school kids from 6th to 8th grade and amplify. We play a lot of dodgeball. Got nailed in the face a lot yesterday.
Nice.
Yeah, they know my love for Chick-fil-A and my love for Starbucks. I think they tried having an intervention for me one time, but I was like, guys, there's no curing this. But yeah, it's been cool. I love my students.
So middle school, tell me, have there been any pranks? Have you been on the receiving end? Have you done any pranks? Or what are the like middle school hijinks have you been a part of that you can share with us without getting yourself in legal trouble for this being on the internet?
Statutes of limitations haven't lasted.
Yeah. Well, I think right now, after talking to one of the facilities, there might be an egg hidden in the middle school room because of a Halloween costume. You know who you are. He came in and he's like, something smells like it's rotting. And I was like, what you expect? It's a middle school room. But it dawned on me there were boiled eggs given out at the Halloween party last week.
Oh my goodness.
So that's a scavenger hunt I'm about to take later today.
Find the rotten egg in the middle school room.
Yeah, it's been chilling in there for about a week now.
Oh, wow.
Who knows what you're gonna find?
Yes.
I have no clue. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Okay, just rapid fire. Who is your favorite superhero?
Captain America,
What is your favorite cereal?
Cocoa Puffs,
If you could live anywhere, where would you live?
Flagstaff, Arizona.
Well, you used to live there, right?
Yeah.
But Wichita's so much better.
Rock, paper, scissors. What do you throw the most?
Probably scissors.
Okay. What's your shoe size?
9.5.
And so you have like glasses on. Are you totally blind if you don't have your glasses on?
Yes. I'm kind of like Bobby Bones. His style's the glasses. I
Nice.
take that where my style's my glasses, so I switch my glasses up every day.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, Jen, thank you for being here today, and thank you,
Yeah.
like Joe said, for all your ministry at Ridgepoint. You're doing a great job. Great to have you. So, okay, should we hit the topics?
Do it.
I think today we're gonna just hit 3, just to
Okay.
keep it kind of short and
right.
short and breezy today.
That's right.
So
Gotcha.
let's start with a fun one. So Macaulay Culkin is trending this week. Do you know who Macaulay Culkin
Yeah.
is? Okay,
Home
Home Alone,
Alone.
of course.
Yes.
So he's trending this morning because I think it was yesterday. There was a Gucci fashion show,
Okay.
and he was one of the models.
He is turning into the world's most interesting man. Like he really is.
He just had a kid, right?
Yes,
Okay.
his
Yeah.
longtime girlfriend. I forget.
Brenda Song.
Yeah, Disney person.
Yeah, she was around in my age.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
His life is
Life.
extremely fascinating.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
pops up with all kinds of things you would never expect him to pop up. There's Macaulay Culkin. So I don't know if like fashion icon is like his new. He had a very flashy, interesting outfit on at this
Interesting,
Gucci fashion show. So who knows?
So if you had to predict the next thing for Macaulay Culkin, so he's gone from like, kid movie star to some dark times.
Yeah.
To obviously like dating somebody rather famous to now being a dad and like showing up to the Gucci fashion stuff, right? So what's gonna be next for him? My guess, Bitcoin.
Okay. I can see that. Here's my guess. Outer space. I think he's going to be on one of the next, whether it's Virgin or Bezos or whoever. He's going to be the next guy in space.
SpaceX. Well, they're gonna need to fix their bathrooms, right? Like, they had a
Yes.
bathroom problem last time they were in space.
I think Macaulay's just letting that ride out, and then he's going to be the
Yeah,
next
yeah,
guy
yeah,
on a
yeah,
space
yeah.
capsule.
Okay.
I don't
Which-
know. I would hope he's going back into TV.
All right.
Yeah, I would say he goes back in that area.
Some Netflix
I think it'd be
special.
funny to see him as a dad.
Yes.
To see like his antics as a young
his
dad.
brother's in some shows right now.
That's right. They were both in film early. So.
Okay.
They're both in Home Alone.
There you go.
There you go.
Macaulay Culkin. Again,
right.
things keep trending in 2021 that I would have not guessed
Yes.
would be
Yeah.
trending this year. But okay.
All right.
Okay, I'm mostly, Jen, please feel free to chime in, but I'm going to mostly go to the expert here, Joe.
Expert.
A lot of people are talking about the election results from this week.
And I'm the expert. Okay.
I trust you to walk that line very carefully, more than I trust myself. So people are talking about the school board stuff going on locally
right.
and nationally, I guess.
Right.
There's the Virginia governor, and then I think it was the New Jersey governor.
That's
Those
right.
races
Tight-
were really
yeah,
close. And
tight
so
race. So
obviously, whenever there's elections, people are very opinionated. Some people are excited. Some people are very upset.
Right.
What are your thoughts today?
So I'm older than you guys, so I'm old to kind of see how there is always a pendulum swing. There's a rising and fall of political eras, and so I think we're 1 year removed from a contentious general election season. We'll have primaries a year from now, and so I think we're just going to be in a kind of heightened state of partisanship for a while now. I do think. Some people on both political parties are probably scoring some wins and probably nervous about a couple of things, and so I just think it hopefully makes both political parties honest about what their pathway is ahead. Hopefully they're figuring out how to track with the real issues with real voters and not just stuff that they want to talk about. I think that's probably the silver lining out of all this. The school board stuff, I think it's great to see parents engaged in school boards. I also think that as parents, and I'm going to say this because I'm a parent, like we need to slow our roll. I think that we know everything that our kid needs to learn, but there's a reason that we send them off to school because we don't know everything. And so I think that there needs to be a bit of a faceting about some of the energy around a couple of issues. And I do think, I'll just say this, like the issue of critical race theory that's thrown around everywhere, it is a very complicated topic, and I think one should not have an opinion on it one way or the other unless we've read some of the original source work. I think you and I would want that for anything in life, right? Like, imagine like a non-Christian coming in saying, well, the Bible seems to be this, that, and the other, and you would ask them, well, that sounds weird. I don't think the Bible's like that. Have you read the Bible? And they said, no, but like somebody on my favorite news channel told me.
Or
like,
Facebook. Someone on Facebook.
Yeah. You'd be like, I think you actually need to go read it. I think it's the same way. Like, can we have the same principle for us and some of these other topics? So let's slow down. Let's actually digest some of the real material and not just the talking points on it. And then we can come to our own conclusion. If not, like, I don't know. That's a sad day if we're relying on everyone else to tell us what to think.
Yeah.
I just think that's not a good scenario at all.
Yeah.
So anyways, that's all that I would say about those things.
I think as parents and as just citizens, I think one good thing is that people are way more interested in local elections than they've probably ever been before.
That's right.
I like 10 years ago, no one was talking about school board. Maybe I was just young enough; it wasn't in my circles. But now everyone really cares about who's on their local school board, which I think is a good thing. Because if you don't care and you're not paying attention, weird things can sneak in that you're not aware of. So I think it's good people are paying attention. But like you said, I think it's also really important that we're educated before we vote, and then before we have strong opinions that we share on Facebook. It's probably good to have some background. So,
and there's a good chance if you're one, and you can do anything you want with your one and only life, you can do whatever you want. But sharing harsh opinions on Facebook really only has two reactions. Most people who don't agree with you are probably going to ignore you, right?
Yeah.
And those who already agree with you, they'll chime in, which will give us the sense that we're really contributing to the conversation, but we're really not. We're just creating those echo chambers where really nothing is advancing. It's just we're getting riled up about stuff that the most of the world doesn't seem to care about. So, look, I don't know. It's also like considering how am I spending my time? Am I really making an influence on the right things? Like agonizing over the right things in life. So, anyways, a couple things to consider. Jen, anything else that you'd like? Let the record show she raised her eyebrows.
A very wise middle school director right now.
Stay in school, kids.
Love it.
All right.
Okay, one more interesting topic I thought we could all chime in on. Okay. Will Smith is trending this morning.
Oh wow.
Will Smith. Again, 90s are just alive and well in 2021. Okay, so he's trending because he has a new book out. It's going to be coming out soon.
Wow.
And it's another one of these kind of tell-all memoir things.
Okay.
So a couple headlines I saw this morning. So apparently he and his dad had a pretty rough relationship. Okay. I didn't know a lot of that. I want to be careful what I'm saying in case the little ears are listening, and we're also in the play place, so I need to be a little careful.
There you go.
But he was pretty open about some relationships and struggles in his marriage, and just some pretty raw stuff from our friend Will Smith. Everybody loves Will Smith, but he has kind of a rough past. He admitted some things he's done, so it's a complicated story. It's also, Katie Couric had a similar book a couple weeks ago, where she had a similar memoir tell-all thing where she kind of let some dirty secrets out.
Wow.
So I thought it'd be interesting for both of you to tell me, when is it good to do that, and when is it not good to do that? When should we be really honest about our struggles and our mistakes, and when is it, like, they're probably just trying to sell books to some extent.
Right.
So how do you balance that? It's good to be honest about our struggles to let people know what we're dealing with.
Yeah.
I think we can learn from people like Will and Katie, but it also is just like, should the whole world know details about your marriage and details about your father that maybe they may or may not want to be public? What are your thoughts on that?
I think so. On the one hand, this is, I think, a positive development, because I think American culture is cast as very shallow, very image curating rich, where we only present our best foot forward. We don't like to share our struggles and stuff. Grit is kind of in the middle of our, persona as a people. And so for people to willingly share their struggles, they wouldn't just do it if there was not an advantage to do it. So maybe there's something happening in our culture right now where people can be more honest and open about what's going on. That is a positive thing. And it's actually a very Christian thing. So Martin Luther once said, if you're going to sin boldly. And he didn't mean go out there and do all you want, but he's like, no, like we need to own our mistakes, because then we experience the lavish grace of God for us, right? So there is something neat about it. So like you're asking, like when we should and should not share. I remember Beth Moore did a study over the book of Acts, and the book of Acts has a few jailbreak stories. The first one's Peter. He's in prison and he gets set free, and he like leaves right away and he goes to a safe house with all the rest of the believers, right? They're praying for him and he gets set free. Another one a little bit later is with Paul and Silas in the jail in Philippi, and when the jailbreak happens, they actually stay and they share Christ with the jailer that's connected to them. And Beth Moore made this really interesting point. She's like, there are some times that when we're set free from our bondage, there are moments we need to run and never talk about it again, like Peter. Like we just need to get free, get safe. And there are other times where God wants us to share that story, because there might be other people in that same a bondage issue, that when they hear our story, they're encouraged to go seek their own freedom. And so I think it takes wisdom times where we do not share and times where we do. Because if you overshare and air the dirty laundry, we could lose credibility.
Yeah.
But we won't share anything. People know better. We all have stuff going on in our life, and so we never share it. People would consider us kind of fake and shallow, and so it's important to be sincere and humble and honest about what's going on in our life too. So those are just a couple things that come to my mind. So what do you think, Jen?
What I was thinking is that, like, if I wrote a book, there's a memoir of my life, nobody's gonna care.
I'd buy it.
I'd be the first in line. I want a signed copy, a pre-release.
Yes.
But, like, Will Smith, he's such a icon to so many people. I mean, he was Fresh Prince, and he has all these movies. He's gonna be Serena and Venus Williams' dad in an upcoming movie. I'm really excited about that.
I am too.
Because I played tennis growing up, and I just love.
Oh, wonderful.
I love them so.
Yeah.
Anyways, but like he's making this book. People like for them, it's brilliant because he's famous, and people are gonna be interested and be like, "Oh, what's up with him and Jada?" or "What's up with him and his life?" But it's like I feel if there's not gonna be something to like really gain from it. Like I've read Messy Truth or Messy Grace and whatever, and that book is talking about the author's story of how he grew up with a lot of controversial stuff, but how it has led him to God and how it has made his mission to be in certain communities to bring God's word and to show that grace of just the truth and how humans being kind and everything should be. So if his book is gonna give you something, like maybe it will be like, okay, you don't do this in a marriage, like those little tidbits, but like probably just for me, I don't care for like fiction or like the nonfiction that doesn't really I gain from it.
Sure.
Yeah, that's where I'm more leaning towards.
Yeah.
But
That's fair. I think what we need to resist is wanting to read stuff about famous people so that we can feel better about ourselves, like judging them, right? I just remember when Charlie Sheen was having his meltdown, and all of like CNN, all the news folks were trying to interview him or his friends. I remember like one of his friends who was another celebrity. He's like, isn't it time for us all to look in the mirror and wonder why we're so fascinated by somebody's faults and mistakes? And here, like, why don't we take a look inside and look at what's going on in our own life? And I thought that was speaking truth in a critical moment. And so I hope that people resist, I want to get all the dirt on this stuff. Yeah. But hopefully they would like read it and see it as a sacred thing. His story is a sacred thing, and say, okay, what can I learn from this? How could this add from my life? And they're not if they're not interested in that intention, should probably leave the book alone. So
I think the only thing I would be interested about it, because I love Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yes.
So I would just want to like, because a lot of the shows like kind of related to his life, like with relationship with his dad and his mom, and so like all of these different things. So
yeah, very good.
That's good. Okay, well, those are the three we're going to hit today.
All right.
Anything else before we wrap up? Jen, thank you for being here. It's been awesome having you. We should probably just do this again sometime.
We should.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes.
But I want to go play.
Yeah.
Are you ready to go play?
I want to try to fit in this car.
Yeah. I've been looking at the car.
So, okay, well, with that, thanks for watching. Thanks for joining us today. Have a great weekend. See you next time, and we're going to go play.
All right, sounds good.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Oh, I got super excited here.
I'm going down the slide. Here we go. Boom. Oh, I made it. Whew. Hello.
So we just finished filming Trinity, but now I'm thinking we should have had Lydia on. So Lydia was one of our friends who helped us pull all this off. So what is your position here, Lydia?
I am a team leader here at Chick-fil-A.
Team leader, okay. So I was just telling her what we were talking about, and she was just talking about Macaulay Culkin with one of her friends. So she's up on all the trending stuff too. So our thanks to Lydia and the Chick-fil-A team for helping us out today. Thank you for having us.
Thanks for joining us. Yeah.